Testing Listening Competencies Part 2. So Part 1, we went over the types and the implications of each. So let's go to the second page of the prompt, and we'll be looking at how you apply them in general, but also for your competency testing. Right. So the theory is that we can respond to anything in any way we want. We just have to pay the consequences or reap the benefits or whatever. And so how we respond not only says, look, this is how I was listening, and so you'll pick up parts of messages that you wouldn't pick when you're listening in other ways, but also it says, this is what I think of you at this moment in time, our relationship. And so obviously with the different response styles, our relationship with each other changes moment to moment, doesn't it? Okay. So here's how it works. You're given a situation, and then you're asked to respond to the with the 5 different styles. Excuse me. And we'll see how it works. So your mom comes to you and she says, I am having so much trouble trying to balance being a mother and a student. Both are really important to me, but to be honest, coming back to school after 20 years is terrifying me, and I don't want to stop being a good mother. And so she's confided in you. She's telling you she's not comfortable about, she's not sure she's being a good mom. And you decide to paraphrase. So you might say something to the effect, sounds to me that you're feeling terrified that you won't be able to do a good job. Or sounds to me you're afraid of not being a good mother while being a student. Or it sounds like you're being pulled in 2 different directions right now, and that's terrifying you. What I'm not doing is telling you, I think you're overreacting, or I don't blame you for overreacting. I am just saying, Mom, this is what I understood you to say. And that is saying, I just want to it's so confirming, I just want to understand you. Okay? Evaluating. She says the same thing to you, and what comes out of your mouth is, you aren't managing your time very well, or you aren't doing a very good job of time management. If she asked you, what do you think I'm doing wrong? That would be appropriate, right? But if you think about it, she's just come to you and confessed, I'm not really feeling good about being a student and a mother right now. And if you judge her, that kind of can be like a hot iron into the stomach, right? So you just want to be careful when you say that. It might be appropriate, but you just need to know the implications. The implications is that you know what's happening and that you want to stand in judgment. Empathy is you want to understand the other individual. I can only imagine how crazy this new life must be, or I can understand why this is so frightening. What was something, starting something you stopped years ago. In your mind, you might be thinking, Mom, just chill. Don't make such a big deal out of it. But it is a big deal to her. It's not a big deal to you, but it's a big deal to her. And can you put yourself in that position? When I talk about the conflict, I have a conflict video for you. I'm going to discuss the importance of empathy in conflict, and as well as paraphrasing. So there's more on that. It's different from paraphrasing. One is just saying, this is what I understood you to say. Empathic is, okay, I'm seeing the world and the situation through my mom's eyes, not mine. Okay. Advising. I suggest speaking to your college advisor might help you better manage your time, or go speak with your advisor. It's a very clear direction, right? If you say you should or you shouldn't, or if I were you or if you were me, those are all judgments, because you're making it sound like this is the way it should be and I know what's right for you. And that's what kicks it into a judgment. And finally, analyzing. Maybe what's happening is that you're trying to do too much, or maybe there's a better time and place for doing both. It's not necessarily to come up with the solution. It's to prompt the other person to think about it. You know, sometimes people get overwhelmed and they can't see their way out of, fight their way out of that paper bag. And this is a way to maybe help them think about how to do it, or, you might give them advice. So When you are being tested, in reality, you might blend these, right? Sounds like you're feeling terrified, and boy, I can only imagine how crazy this is, right? There's empathy and paraphrasing. And that's natural, but for the testing, they have to be just paraphrasing or just evaluating. So let me show you where you will take the test, and then we'll talk very, very quickly about the paraphrasing test. It's a separate test. Very simple. If you do this one, you're set for paraphrasing. Okay. Whoops. Unit 6. Where'd you go? Yes, I'm talking to myself. Okay. All right. This is the prompt that we just were looking at, right? And this is the first part, the first video. And so competency testing, you'll be given a scenario, 5 responses, write as though you're writing the email. You can read those. You can go in and out of this test multiple times, so if you're not sure, you can certainly ask me and I can clarify, and you can go back in again. All right, so these are the directions. Here are the instructions. You've just received this email from your good friend Joshua, so respond as though you're writing to your good friend, okay? This is what you get, and then you're going to write 5 responses. It's just exactly the same format as the prompt. So paraphrasing here, evaluating, judging here, etc., etc. When you're done with your response, sometimes it will automatically save, but just to play it safe, click on Save Answer. So if something happens to power or something, you've got it saved. Okay, and that is that. All right. So now you have the second listening skill, which is paraphrasing. Very simple, okay? Here's the prompt, if you need to see it. Here's the test, okay? You are going to email me an open-ended question that you want me to answer. I will respond back to you in email with my response, and then you will respond to me with a paraphrase, all right? If, read the directions very carefully. If you mess up the first time, that's normal. I'll give you corrections. You paraphrase the corrections. You do that well, you're fine. If it takes more than once, then you start losing points. Okay, that doesn't usually happen, but just so you know the setup. So that is there. If you have questions, please let me know. And tomorrow, late, you will be getting information on the assertive conflict management skill. But you've got plenty to do right now, okay? Thank you for your patience, and have fun. Bye.